Innovate. Accelerate. Move technology forward. The startup revolution is now.
Parang may nagkaroon ng time na nawala yung self-worth ko.
You know, you have to work to help your husband with the finances, to help prepare finances for your children for their future.
It feels like hindi ko alam kung paano ko magigain yung confidence ko. Pag naging mom na sila, parang nawawala na yung career path nila.
FHMoms was founded with a goal to help women, especially moms, to pursue their careers and dreams while staying at home. FHMoms is a women community that welcomes Filipino women ages 18 and above. We support and equip women with the mindset and skills that they need to be empowered and inspired to reach their goals. We have free webinars and online courses about freelancing, entrepreneurship, parenting, and personal growth. We have programs for scholarship, apprenticeship, job matching, and equipment assistance that they can also look forward to. With over 370,000 members globally and over 17,000 students, we continuously provide services, programs, and projects to support the community. We make it happen with the help of our sponsors, partners, clients, affiliates, and collaborators who believe to the mission of FHMoms. Helping a mom would help the whole family. Join us with our mission of changing lives one mom at a time.
Hi everyone! Good afternoon and welcome to Philippine Startup Week featuring Empowering Women in Tech by FHMoms Incorporated. I'll be your host for today. I am MK Bird Tulufo and I am the CEO and the founder of Filipina Homebased Moms, which is an edtech startup company that started in 2017. We actually joined the previous Philippine Startup Week as one of the startups who showcased our community in top 100 startups. So I'm super excited today because we are having this panel discussion showcasing female startup founders. So before I introduce our panelists, please comment down where you are watching, or if you are a startup founder as well, or you are an aspiring entrepreneur. So allow me to introduce our first panelist. She is Bonnie Factor, who is the founder and CEO of Leading with Success. Together with her team, they help companies have predictable, reputable, and scalable revenue by creating tech systems, processes, and building capabilities together with their teams and leaders. She's also the founder and the CEO of Get Hired. Get Hired is an HR tech that is picked up for careers. She's now a 3 times startup founder, adding more technology companies to her portfolio. Let us all welcome Bonnie. Hi! Kamusta? You're on mute, but we are super excited to hear you. Hi!
Sabi lang nila, be mindful of the mic when you talk. Well, good afternoon to Philippine Startup Week in cooperations with FHMoms. Happy to be here. MK and I go way back 2017 when we are both just starting. So thank you for inviting me as one of the panelists today.
Thank you, Bonnie. Of course, I'd like to share then to my fellow startup founders how you mentored me when I'm just starting in the startup industry, and more pa the challenges I know na subaybayan mo yung growth ng FHMoms at ako rin as startup founder, and pag-uusapan natin yan later on. For our second panelist, let's have Jennifer Rabe, or Janae, who walks the talk. She is a certified wedding specialist, an effective event planner, and a professional host, making each event lively, intelligent, elegant, and creative. She is a versatile and sought-after professional host who has truly mastered the art of being an effective host in any kind of event. She owns AJT, Events Management, and specializes in event planning, coordination, and professional hosting. Currently, she is the events and marketing consultant for the fastest growing events place in Las Piñas, Casa Aguilar. She is also the head organizer of worldwide weddings bridal fairs, both in the Philippines and in Singapore. She studied at Simon Fraser University in Burnaby, Canada, and she has a double degree in psychology and marketing management from De La Salle University, Manila. Janae is a graduate of the Boy Abunda workshop and hosting one-on-one with Paolo Bidiones. She also holds the title of Certified Wedding Specialist with registry number 136 by Weddings Beautiful Worldwide, a world-class training and certification program for wedding planners since 1958. She is the past president of the Rotary Club of Las Piñas East. Hold on. Okay. She is the past president of the Rotary Club of the Piñas East, a founding member of the Microphone Club, and holds the position of Network Education Coordinator in the leadership team of Business Network International Supreme Chapter. Last July, she soft launched the first ever event booking and review app in the Philippines called the AJP app, where you can discover, book, and review event suppliers nationwide. Let us all welcome Janae. Hi!
Hi!
Kamusta?
Good afternoon! Kamusta? Napakaganda naman ng description. So, thank you everyone. It is my pleasure to be part of the panelists this afternoon. And I think lahat ng manonood ngayon ay maraming matututunan. So many insights that you guys will get from this
Of
discussion.
course. And congratulations no, for the soft launching of your app. Super duper excited to hear more about that app siguro later sa ating discussion tonight. And now, for our last panelist, we have Mary Dana Dulay. Dana is a conduit between the corporate and e-commerce world. She has over 15 years of call center experience in operations, and in the late 2017, she started with a small online store while working as an operations manager. Come 2018, she completely left the corporate world and became a full-time entrepreneur. Alongside her ex-partner, they created OJMD Solutions, one of the most respected e-commerce agencies in the Philippines that provided end-to-end solutions to aspiring e-commerce entrepreneurs. Since 2021, she had managed the business alone and decided to rebrand the company, which is now known as the e-commerce PH. She also owns the biggest e-commerce community, wow, in the country that is called Philippine E-commerce and Dropshipping Community with almost 100,000 members. Dana is an autism and twin parent, and she is a single mom of three boys. Let us all welcome Dana. Hi, Dana, kamusta? You're on mute.
Ayan, 'di ba? Kakaano lang ni Bonnie kanina, na victim tayo ulit. Anyways, good afternoon everyone. Good afternoon MK, Bonnie and Jenny. And it is a pleasure to be part of these empowered women panelists. And as MK mentioned that I own the biggest e-commerce a community group because fan ako ni MK. Because first when first got to meet her, I think that was way back 2019. FHMoms was only at 100,000, but now it's almost at 400K. So I hope that I'd be able to at least be in the middle of if FHMoms. So there. So good afternoon, everyone. So glad to be part of this panel.
Ayan, mukhang fan tayo talaga ng isa't isa. So let's get started, no? Let's share, no, to our audience. Ano ba yung naging mga challenges natin, how we started, ano yung inspiration natin, right? So let's start muna with Bonnie. Ayan, we wanted to know what inspired you to venture into your own startup.
Yung first startup ko, it was born out of a problem na parang glaring siya. It was an obvious problem. There was an international e-commerce need and no one was fulfilling that need. And then when we went out into the world to launch it, it was very much welcome. The second startup, I enjoyed facilitating workshops. And so I created a training consulting firm. The third startup is more of medyo seasoned entrepreneur ka na and you know who you wanted to work with and with the people that you wanted to work with. You just wanted to tap them, especially to be able to be together, and then yung ecosystem to benefit from each other on what's going to happen. So ganun yung yung progression niya. May luck na kasama. Hindi natin i-discount ang luck kasi parang ang hirap sabihin na it was all just hard work. May kasamang luck talaga. When I approached you, you accepted me. Yun yung isa sa mga Sa first startup pa lang di ba? FH Moms yung jump off point namin, one of the jump off points namin. So, may luck talagang kasama whenever magne-negosyo. Ayan. Plus, always, trying. Parang, it's a progression of, this is what I did the first time, this is what I want the second time, this is what I want the third time.
I realized, Bonnie, no, na we met during the time that you're building your first startup because I attended your e-commerce na workshop.
Diba?
Right. Nakakatuwa. Grabe,
Diba?
sobrang dami na natin pinagdaanan together.
Agree. FHMoms then was around 17,000 o baka 5K pa nga lang
Yeah.
It was a starting point. And when I reached out to you, I was very thankful kasi jump off point talaga namin, the community of FHMoms.
How about you, Janae? What inspired you naman to venture into your own startup? Maybe balikan muna natin yung mga first businesses that you started because I know medyo madami-dami, of course.
Yeah. So my background is really in the events world, no. So actually, since I was 5 years old, nandun na talaga ako sa environment ng events. Yung business kasi ng parents ko is catering. So, but I didn't establish my own business until later on, when I said na parang hindi na pwedeng I'm just piggybacking on my parents' business, which was Jack and Jen Catering. So, nandun na yung pangalan ko actually, Jack and Jen. So when I decided na, okay, I need to establish my own brand, my own name, um, well, meron kasi akong hashtag na ginagamit noon pa, which is Ask Janae Today. So it's like, it's a hashtag that came about because everybody asks me questions. Even when I was growing up, high school, college, they all ask me, Janae, saan ba makakahanap ng ganito? Janae, paano to gagawin? Janae, anything related to events, they all ask me. Kaya sabi ko, why not? Yan ang hashtag ko, Ask Janae Today. So when I decided na start up na natin ang business, ang ginawa ko, AJT, Events Management. So they all ask me, ano ba yung AJT? Ano ba ibig sabihin nun, no? But it's really that, Ask Janae Today. And I guess it embodies really who I am as a person. I am naturally a person who believes in givers gain. I help so many people plan their events without getting anything in return. Even if they don't hire me, even if they don't get me, I help them, connect them with suppliers, etc., etc. No, so while I was also hoping to build my community, I connected with MK, and she was like, I remember one of her advices dun sabi niya na Janae, it's good that you're an expert in what you're doing, and I think that you, when parang ma-perfect mo siya, then madali lang magkaroon ng technology in the system. Parang kasi at the time parang tinatanong ko sa kanya paano ba yung mga technology part, paano magkaroon ng ganito, ganyan. Sabi niya madali na lang magkaroon ng tech kung maayos yung model ng business mo and all that. And I guess over the years that's what I really focused on, no? How can I help more people in a more organized way. Ayan. So, I'm really excited. I'm going to share more about our projects actually, because along with AJT Events Management, during the pandemic, merong nanganak na another baby, which is still related to events actually, kasi it was a delivery concierge service. So, I called it Aja Deliveries. And syempre, medyo malapit sa puso din ng, ng FHMoms yan because we helped in some of the deliveries with FHMoms. So, that's the business that we pivoted to during the pandemic, which is, again, still related to handling.
Nung walang events, right, during the pandemic, that's how you pivoted.
Yes.
Super nice. Ayan, mamaya, we'll get to know more about your second startup. Now, let's hear it from Dana. Ayan, your inspiration. Go ahead.
So I guess for me it's kind of different since my background is call centers for almost 15 years. It just so happened that I had an ex-partner who was very business minded, and he was able to convince me to do full-time business with him way back 2017. And then initially, because he was doing freelance work that time, so initially we created OGMD just to build websites for international market. And then he actually created the group Philippines E-commerce and Dropshipping Community. And then his background was more of Google Ads. And then 2018, he was being invited to speak to e-commerce trainings here because most of the mentors here can only teach Facebook ads. So since we were always invited, I told him, why don't we actually started with same with G na parang event. So I told him, why not create events of our own to teach e-commerce. So we used the same name, OJMD, and then we got exposed with people doing local ecom. And because before we had our stores, but it was international as well. And with that, we got exposed with people doing local ecom. So I had to do our local store because he still had to maintain the international one. So I really felt the difference between because with international drop shipping, even if you have 1,000 orders a day, it's all just one click away. But doing local ecom, it's different. Like you need to look for suppliers, and then once we had orders, I had to do all the labor work. So after a couple of months, since we had the community, and in our community, people would always ask, "Isn't drop shipping possible here in the Philippines?" I mean, it is possible before. However, your only source of supply is AliExpress, which is in China, and it would take around 30 to 50 days for orders to be delivered here. So, since we had the community, and there was a time that there was somebody from Divisoria who would actually send out product catalogs to people who's selling here, and would tell us na, you can post any of these products on your store, and if you have an order, just send it to us, and then we will do all the process. So technically, it was similar to a drop shipping system. And then one day, I just woke up, and this is a real story. I just woke up and I had a vision. Parang I had a vision. Why not come up with a drop shipping system here, similar platform, except just give it more system, because he would just send you Google Sheets and all. And when I talked to my partner about it, he was open to the idea, and that's where our drop shipping service actually started. And initially, we were known for organizing events, and then we became more known, or OGMD became more known with the drop shipping platform that we had. And then, unfortunately, or I would say fortunately in a way, last year me and my ex separated, and then I had to run the business on my own. And it was very difficult for me in the beginning because he was the face of the brand, and people who knew me were more of our network but not our audience. So initially I wanted to rebrand, but I was too scared. But I had no choice. I had to fill in his shoes, and that's why I kept the name OJMD up until early this year. And then though again one day I just suddenly realized, I think, it's time, because the people already knew me as the only person left for OGMD. And then I finally decided, I think it's time to rebrand. And that's why from OJMD, it's now the e-commerce PH. And I think it's more fulfill. I mean, basically, in terms of services, it's very similar. It's just really rebranded, but there's just more ownership also coming from my end, since I don't need to carry um, another person who's not actually part of the business anymore for the longest time. So that's the story of the e-commerce PH.
Thank you, Dana. I feel that you answered. I feel like you somehow answered na our second question, and because of that, let's ask Bonnie. No, for this one naman, Bonnie. In terms of tech, we usually think of Google or big electronic companies. What area of tech is it realistic as an entry point, or even possible as small scale business? Because Dana mentioned about e-commerce, and as we know, it's so easy na lang to enter e-commerce. So are there other startup business that any founders can begin with?
When we were in idea space, one of our mentors told us who had a tech startup here as well. Um, Arup, hi Arup. He's an Indian. He said, in the Philippines, if you go customer to customer, it's going to be costly. It's sexy. It's going to be costly, but then you'll die as a startup. If you go through that without a community, unlike UNT. But if you go B2B, you'll survive. And so that was the trajectory that we took. The first startup, it was for small to medium business owners, and then taking their products in Amazon. And then the second startup, it's for corporations. I mainly talk to HR heads. And it's the same for our third startup, HR heads as well. So being an HR manager, that's the world that I am in. And therefore, yeah, the connections are there. And having all the HR counterparts and their problems, it's easy to pinpoint, create the solution for them, and then market it to them, solve those pain points. B2B. B2B is a good jump off point if you want to survive. That's true. So Arup, you're right. B2B in the Philippines will survive. Consumer startups, if you have a lot of community like MK, or if you have a lot of capital for marketing, you can do that. But if you don't, you'll die as a startup. And the important thing in a startup is just to survive. Just surviving. You don't need to scale right away if you're in the Philippines, except if you have a VC available. Um, you just need to survive. As long as you're surviving, then you're still a success. At least in my standpoint, that's for the Philippines. Yeah, at least
Aside
that's
from
for
B2B, aside from B2B businesses, I think service-based na mga businesses then I feel would be successful. Kasi for Jenny, I believe most of her services and then yung mga startup business na start niya are service-based. Am I correct, Jenny?
Yes, actually, it's mainly service based. But I want to echo on that, no. So, Bonnie, that's a really good point. Na pag B2B, you have a better chance. I just remember when during the pandemic, no, dahil pivot nga kami dun sa a sub service under AJT, which is the AJA deliveries. So, at the beginning, I was thinking, kasi wala naman akong alam sa deliveries, di ba? Clueless. But there was just an opportunity, so I took on that opportunity. But when I was trying to figure out paano ba ginagawa nung mga on-demand delivery services yung business, how do they earn money? I'm trying to compute and parang it's impossible. Parang you're gonna earn like what, 10 pesos, 20 pesos, and only for you to earn is sobrang laki talaga ng volume in order for you to actually earn money there. So, but when I focused on the businesses, on solving the challenges of the business owners, so the delivery concierge became very beneficial. So in Agile deliveries, kasi what we do is yung mga hindi kayang gawin ng other on-demand services. So like pick up ng check, deliver submission ng business documents, all these different things na you want peace of mind to be able to do. So that's why it's called delivery concierge. So I think that if you are gonna start something, you need to be very clear on what pain point you are answering. Like you have to be crystal clear on what pain point. And I think the reason why the Aja delivery sub business became successful is because it was so clear. O ikaw business owner ka, pipila ka ba sa bangko? Pipila ka ba sa BIR? Pipila, are you gonna do that? Are you gonna waste your time standing there? Or are you gonna spend X amount of pesos sa liaison officer mo na hindi naman everyday nagtatrabaho, so it becomes so clear to them on how my service was an answer to theirs. So I think if you can come up with that, then it could be a good entry point, and it doesn't have to be something so complicated. It could be as simple as that, as simple as mapipila, di ba? Yung taga-pila.
Yeah.
That's sorry, that's a
Sobrang
simple
daming
thing.
realizations about,
Yeah.
starting a tech company, no, na
Yeah,
hindi naman
kasi parang
kailangan super
yeah,
complicated.
parang excited kasi tayo na kailangan complicated, but it has to be
Yeah.
simple, no? So same with now with the AJT app, no, that we're still in beta version now, but what we're answering in the AJT app is also very simple. If you're outside of the country, you're planning an event in the Philippines, your number one pain point is, totoo ba yan? Baka scammer yan.
Mhm.
Yun pa lang, that's number one. Makita lang nila, yes, it's legitimate. Yes, dumaan siya sa proseso. Kumbaga, hindi basta-basta yung pumasok dun sa loob ng app. That's already an answer to somebody's problem. So, dagdag na lang yung, okay, ito yung mga
Galing.
packages nila. Okay, ito yung ganon. So, that's it, guys. So, if you wanna think about something, just think of something that really answers a clear pain point. Hindi yung parang na-imagine mo lang na pain point. Yung
Yeah.
talagang alam mo na problema talaga at challenge talaga siya ng tao. I think that's a good
Or
thing
maybe ikaw
to
mismo
do.
yung naka-experience, right? I
Yeah,
think that
yeah,
that's
for
the,
sure.
the best thing na pwede nating gawin to reflect on our own pain points and problems. With Dana naman, ayan, with most businesses going digital, how can you differentiate yourself from the rest, and what can you do to stand out?
I guess based on my experience, because prior to me and my ex partner parting ways, our system was very automated. And then when he left the system with me. However, I don't have any tech background. So I had a system but I didn't know how to manage it, or I didn't know what to do anything about it. So from there, um basically the system was a waste. It was trash, and I had to like go back from scratch, like how we started, and basically start everything manually again. And then fortunately now I already have an automated system again. But I would say, since everyone, almost most businesses are going digital, it's still very important to know how your business would run if in case the technology would be gone. Because I think one of the things that some businesses are lacking is that they just want everything to be automated, they just want everything to be fast, one click away. But if the system goes away, what happens to the business? And that is something that I personally experienced. I was like, what am I going to do? How am I going to continue this business? I don't have technology. If I hire a developer, I think I don't think my brain can grasp everything already. So that's why it's very important to still be able to manage it, doing everything manually, so that once your system goes down, or if in case you're back to being automated again, the system or the business would still be able to run. And at the same time, I think one of the things that I also realize is that you actually do not need an expert to be an expert on the tech side. You just need to be able to trust the other people that you're working with, who's actually handling the technology itself, because it's hard to be an expert, or sometimes we want to be an expert of everything. But like me, my background is more of operations, so if I try to be an expert with the tech side, then I might not have as much time, with doing what I am good at, or what I am strong at, which is operations. So it's very important to be able to trust people that you work with, especially when it comes to the tech side of things. And again, very important thing is to be able to know how to run your business if in case the technology would be a problem.
Yeah. Bakit parang feeling ko most women founders are struggling when it comes to technology talaga and building the app or platform na na-envision natin. But anyway, ayan. Bonnie, I'd like to ask a best question din to you since marami na rin tayo sa industry na naging kaibigan no, na mga female founders. What do you think no should be the background experience or qualification that a female founder or a startup founder in general you needed no, to thrive no, as a startup in tech.
I think we need to, I believe, yeah, I believe, parang Miss Universe lang. We
Correct.
need to be able to expose women as early as grade school now or high school into computer science and coding, especially coding. When during my high school guys, this was the time when DOS started. DOS, PC DOS. Fourth year high school, that's 1996, 1995. We were offered a computer subject. And there were just ten of us who went into, the rest of the women were into tailoring, cooking, I think there's also drafting, yeah. And then there were just ten or less than 15 of us in computer. This is a high school of 2,000, 3,000 students per batch, and that's just us. And I was learning go to because it's DOS, MS DOS. And then it's the same thing when I went into college. So exposing women to coding now as early as grade school and the youngsters. So I took Harvard CS50, not yet done, still at Project Zero. So I probably will repeat it. Harvard CS50 is Harvard's Introduction to Computer Science. Project Zero is creating a project in Scratch programming. Scratch is this tool software for kids. So moms, and who helped me in Project Zero? My son. He showed me how to create a programming language in Scratch. He told me, okay, you do this, you do this. Can you see this? Okay. He kicked the ball this way. So yeah, Scratch.
Super
So
fun. And your son is just 8 years old now or 7?
yes, eight, and then just turned 9. So he was 8 when he was teaching me how to program via Scratch. So it's now intrinsic to them because Scratch is easier to manipulate and then connect the dots for the instructions for the tech of what you want it to do. And this kind of imbibes in them that you can teach the computer instructions on what you want it to do to create a program. So that's a project zero. I believe that's what we need to do to expose all of the women that coding is teaching the computer what you want it to do, except it has its own language. So you need to learn the language of the computer.
Yun. Pa, sobrang daming kailangan aralin. Ayan. But this question naman is for Janae. Ayan. I remember sending links sa iba't ibang pitching competition, articles, I guess, at kung ano-ano pang mga guidelines for Janae when she's just starting to plan no yung soft launching nga niya for AJE app. So, this question is for you, Janae. So, how important is it to be updated in current tech trends and what should we do to be updated? Ayan, since fresh na fresh pa ang paghahanap natin ng mga tech information and updates. So, share to us.
You I think that the n- kailangan yung character mo is yung naturally inquisitive ka eh. You have to be naturally inquisitive. Yung talagang you're always searching for something. You have that heart to find, what are the things that will help you. So, you know what? Google is out there. Everything is in Google, actually. You'll be surprised. You just have to keep reading, follow different blogs, different people. And if you also listen to mga podcasts and mga speakers, you will really learn a lot. And I believe everyone has their own journey. So you just have to take on that journey that you have. Kailangan mo yung natural inquisitive self, because nobody can teach you how to go and search for what you need. Because that's the only way I found my answers, by really searching it out. Even if people will give you answers or hindi it's your own journey. You really have to search it out. So kumbaga, i-embrace mo yung journey na pa, hey, I want to do this project, and kailangan talagang yung heart mo nagso-search out. Kasi kapag ka parang binigay lang sa'yo, oh, eto, parang hindi mo siya ine-embrace, hindi mo siya sinasarili na parang ito talaga journey ko, I wanna do this. And kumbaga yung pagod and yung hirap kasama siya dun eh. Yung learning curve, yung hirap doon kasama doon. So it just makes the output much sweeter. When you see the output of your work there, you feel like, yes, I did this. I really did my own research. I seek out the advice of quality people. So that's it, guys. Never lose that inquisitive self in you.
Nako. Yung mga viewers natin na dito sa Philippine Startup Week, I'm pretty sure na marami silang matututunan dito sa panel discussion natin and sa iba pang mga panel discussions. I think it's one step for them, no, para maging updated din talaga. That's why we're doing this kind of panel discussions. And for them na maging easier, hindi na sila ganun ka mahirapan pa when it comes to research. Ayan. So, I'd like to ask Dana, since she mentioned about the challenges in starting up in e-commerce business nila. I'd like to know, Dana, no, maybe you can give us additional advice as well as pointers on how we can turn our ideas naman into reality, since naging solo founder ka this time, no, sa e-commerce PH.
I think the best advice I can give is do something about it. Because sometimes you always have, we have a lot of ideas. When you watch something, you would want, parang you would think na, ay, parang I want something similar. Or sometimes you just come up with an idea and then you wonder, is it a good idea or not? But we don't do anything about it, especially with us moms, because we're multitaskers. We do business, we're moms, we teach our kids, we take care of them. Sometimes we cook, especially if you don't have a nanny, and then you do your business, and it's hard to manage everything. And then when you come up with an idea, you think that you don't have time for it. You sometimes don't even tell anybody. So I think the very first step is at least share it with somebody. And then second one, if you feel that your idea can really make a difference, do something about it, because the idea will just stay there. As what I shared earlier, diba? The drop shipping company that we had was just something that I thought of as soon as I woke up. And then I just decided after waking up, when my ex partner woke up, I just shared, why don't we do this? And then he was like, okay, how much do you think would it cost for us to start? And then there, and it really helped us be known in the e-commerce space, and especially during the pandemic, that was actually also, like the skyrocket when it comes to our business. So these simple things, even simple things that you think of might really make a difference and might make a big impact, but you just need to do something about it.
Nice. Sobrang ganda ng piece of advice. Thank you, Dana, for sharing that. So now, Bonnie, siguro hindi pa alam ng karamihan, but I recently joined Bonnie sa bagong startup company. Ito, actually, na-launch pa lang namin siya and sa Get Hired. And I'm so amazed with my fellow co-founders. Ayan, sa mga co-founders ko, because super galing nilang lahat when it comes to marketing communication. And now that we're starting to introduce Get Hired din, ayan, sa industry, I'd like to know, Bonino, maybe you can share with our viewers or startup founders, what are the platforms that we're using, ayan, or maybe the network that we're trying to use then, and the market that we're trying to enter, ayan, to introduce our startup.
Ayan. So, we're launching in December 1. And siguro the app, di naman app, the web the web platform gawa na by December 1. The market that we're tapping, syempre HR pa rin, ay dyan talaga tayo nag-revolve. And HR, so job matching siya, no? Job matching. It's an HR job tech portal. And then also entering Australia, Janice. On a different name. Hindi ko pa masabi yung name. Ayan. At the same time, there is a partner there. We just need to close the deal with a partner there. Ayan. And maybe to other countries as well. Launching to other countries, naghahanap ng partners in other countries. Ganun yung strategy namin in launching get hired for other countries. Magaling sila sa marketing. So yun nga, I guess you partner with people that has the strength that you need in the team. So magaling sila sa sales, yung mga co-founder magaling sa marketing.
The tech, right?
Yes.
Grabe, amazing technology.
Kabisado na niya. And then community, ayan. So yung having all these in co-founders, sabi nga natin, di ba, parang when we got the angel investments, they are actually investing because of the founders. We were able to raise siguro nasa 4 to 5 million na ngayon, and still getting thank you.
Additional angel investors. Yes! Super exciting.
And ayan, so yan yung ating experience at third startup. It was relatively easy. So to all the founders and would want to enter the startup world, the first is the hardest. The second, medyo meron ka ng network to start the second. To have the confidence to start the second. The third, medyo mas relax na kayo, mas kabisado na pag gumawa ng KPI at metrics na sa Google Sheet, and then parang kabisado na, okay, ito yung gagawin natin, ito ang siya ang in charge sa this area of marketing, siya dito sa area of marketing, ayan, ganyan. So, medyo kabisado na. Pero talaga, ang kailangan matutunan ng mga founders, aside from tech, is marketing and sales. Kasi madami namang tech dyan pero magkakatalo talaga sa marketing and sales. Once you get your first sale, how to scale and how to grow is the biggest problem of all ng lahat naman ng startup. How to grow and scale.
Ayan, ako, sobrang exciting. We'll announce soon about Get Hired In, and maybe you can join as well. Ayan, now I'd like to ask Janae this question. So how can we use our being as a woman and as a mom to our advantage in starting up? Ayan, how old na ba is Joey again? Malaki na binata na, right? So,
Yes, my son is already 18 years old. So
yeah.
I'm a proud single mother. Yes. Laban ng mga single mothers diyan. Siguro what I can say me, especially being a single mother, I know I'm an action taker. I think a lot of probably all mothers are action takers. Especially yung mga single moms dyan. Kasi kung hindi tayo gagalaw, walang mangyayari.
Correct.
Right? So, I think that we can use that to our advantage. At the same time, ito isa sa realization ko about the startup kasi. We get to a point now, we want everything to be perfect. No? But just as mothers, 'di ba? Parang hindi kailangan maging perfect yung bahay natin. Basta nakakain yung anak natin, 'di ba? O may nasusuot tayong damit, yung meron tayong bahay, right? It doesn't have to be perfect. So, in the same way, the platform, the app or whatever startup you're doing, it doesn't have to be perfect before you actually launch it. So, maybe you're wondering na sinoft launch ko na yung app, no? But it's not yet perfect when I soft launch it because my coaches have told me it will not be perfect. Parang if it is perfect when you launched it, then you launch too late. That's what
Right.
they said. So kaya it's as mothers, we just go and do it. Aja, right? And
Correct.
then, of course, we learn along the way and, tweak things. Of course, that's why nga, when you communicate that you're on beta version, you also learn it. You learn the behavior of the people, how they respond to it, ano yung mga concerns, ano yung mga questions, so that you can come up with the platform or the startup company that you have that best answers the need of your audience. So
Ayan.
that
Thank
I
you,
can
Zay,
say.
for sharing that. Grabe. Pang Miss Universe ang answer. Ayan. For Dale naman, this will be our last question na, and I hope you can give your message to aspiring women founders and entrepreneurs who would like to build their own tech-enabled startup companies or even their own e-commerce business. Go ahead, Zayda.
The best advice that I can give is do not be afraid. As I mentioned earlier, that based on experience, I didn't venture into business alone, and then I had to do business on my own. And during that time, as I was really thinking, should I still continue this? I have more years of experience doing call center work than doing business. Should I just go back working corporate? Or should I continue this? And I think because as what Jean mentioned, that we moms are action takers. So it's more of just really putting confidence to yourself, and believing that you would be able to do it. So it's just really more about also surrounding yourself with like-minded people. Ask help from other people, talk to people who would be able to provide you guidance. As I mentioned, even if you would want to build your own tech enabled, you have a tech enabled startup idea, but you're afraid because you're not too tech savvy. And just an FYI, I graduated IT, but I was never able to practice it because after graduating, call center agad. So, which is really kind of ironic. So it's just really about finding the right people to help you, people who you would be able to trust, so that. As what Jean mentioned, the system that you build doesn't necessarily need to be perfect. Kumbaga, you would develop it continuously. What's important is that you start it. So there, do not be afraid.
How about you, Bonnie?
Hello to everyone who wanted to create a startup. Is there a problem that you want to solve? Something that you just hate so much and you want to solve it. If you got that problem, if you're itching to solve that problem, go solve it and then sell the solution. Once you're able to sell the solution, then you have a business. Now you need to think of scaling and growing it, and then check if you can create an MVP or a technology for that problem and solution that you're solving. So now, welcome to the entrepreneurship world. It is a forever learning world. Marketing, sales, right, and everything, all of the soft skills, no. So
Yeah.
welcome to forever learning. That's the only thing, if everything is gone tomorrow, how you can get it all back? It's just here because you've learned everything and you've executed everything through learning. So welcome to forever learning. It never stops.
True.
How about you, Dani? Any message
Yes.
for our aspiring women founders?
Yeah. So on top of all these wonderful ladies na shinare nila, no, guys, fail fast and fail forward. Right? Ibig sabihin, uh, pagka nagkamali kayo, nakita niyo yung pagkakamali, the faster na na-discover niyo siya, the better. And then, kung ano man yung pagkakamali yun, take it forward. Meaning, it's the next step. So, ako, good news, bad news, I say thank you. Like, thank you, Lord. Bad news. Thank you, Lord. Good news, right? So, because it's just gonna keep you, moving forward. And I like that Bonnie said, no, welcome to the entrepreneurship world. And to manage your expectations. So, it's a lonely world. Okay, it is. I mean, and I say that with a smile, no. I mean, it becomes a lonely world because when you're an entrepreneur, you really carry a lot by yourself. You
Mm,
know, yung wala kang makausap, alam mo yun, yung employees mo ba sasabihan mo or yung hindi
Right.
it's you carry everything by yourself. But the
Right.
good news there is yes, it's a lonely world, but ibig sabihin hindi ka nag-iisa. The other entrepreneurs are also feeling the same. So,
that's why
hit us
we're
up,
here.
give us a yeah, hit us up, give us a call, tell us, parang ano, you can give us like, I'm so frustrated, whatever, whatever, and
Right.
we're just here to listen.
Kung kailan
So,
pa tapos
it's all
na, no?
good.
Tsaka tayo, kumbaga, tsaka nag-iinit pa yung discussion. Ayan. Thank you, ladies. And before we award, no, your certificate, I'd like to ask Dana if you have anything to share upcoming events or training, maybe your social media.
In
Go ahead.
our e-commerce group, we have a drop shipping webinar series this week, today, tomorrow, and on Friday. So today we're featuring Dropify. Tomorrow we're featuring Inspire Drop Shipping, and then of course on Friday we're featuring D Dropship, who used to be OJMD Drop Shipping. So it's our formal launch of our automated website marketplace. And the next week in the group, we also have a webinar series for digital marketing, just to help, as since I know that sometimes it's very challenging to run ads in Facebook. So our coaches, which is the D coaches, would be having a webinar series for 3 days. So more of introduction for digital marketing. So again, that's Philippines e-commerce and drop shipping community.
Yun.
Thank
Sobrang
you.
daming webinars. Exciting. Thank you, Dana. How about you, Boni? I know we have a lot of events as well,
Yes.
so feel free to share.
We have our December 1 launch of Get Hired, and we are launching it with a digital HR webinar. MK is one of the speakers. Ayan. Yan na lang muna. Ang daming upcoming nun. Let's focus on that
Right.
December event. Yes.
How about you, Janae?
All right. So for us naman, no, so we have an ongoing online bridal fair actually. Leading up to our hybrid bridal fair, which will be in Singapore. So every Thursday and every Sunday at 8 p.m. we do a Facebook Live at Worldwide Weddings PH. So this is the department that does the bridal fair. So we talk about everything wedding planning, and then our hybrid bridal fair is going to be in Singapore. So that's going to be at the Atelier and Co. November 18 and 19, which is also our kumbaga, international launch of the app. Because the concept is that when you're outside of the Philippines, you can pay and make reservation payments through the app, make things simpler for everyone who are outside of the Philippines. So that's it for us. And we have more projects coming by 2023. So we hope that you follow us. AJTevents.com is our
Grabe,
website.
bigatan ng mga panelists natin. When are you coming back to Manila, Janae? Na-miss ka
Yes,
na
I
namin.
I know. I'm coming by November 6th. I'll be back November 6th. Yes. So I'm here
Ayan.
actually in Australia connecting with a lot of businesses as well. So maraming possible business dito, guys.
Ayan. Thank you, ladies. Now, let us award no, the certificates na. So, here is the certificate, ayan, for Bonnie. Okay. Thank you so much, Bonnie Factor. This certificate of appreciation is awarded to you for being one of the guest speakers in Philippine Startup Week 2022, empowering women in tech. In grateful acknowledgement and sincere appreciation for taking part in our event, given this 15th of November 2022, signed by yours truly and Dave Del Rosario of QBO Innovation. Thank you, Bonnie, for your
Thank you,
time.
Mom. Thank you, MK. Thank you, Kubo.
Thank you. And now, we would like to award the certificate of appreciation to Jennifer Rabbit. Thank you, Jenny, for your time. Hope to see you
Thank
soon.
you as well.
Thank you, thank you. And of course, last but not least, let's award the certificate of appreciation to Mary Dana Dulay. Thank you so much, Dana, for your time. Good luck on your next live session. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, everyone, thank you so much for joining Empowering Women in Tech by Filipina Homebased Moms. This is our first panel discussion together with the Philippine Startup Week, and we are super excited to support this event in the coming years. We are grateful to be part of this year's event. And we hope that you enjoyed our panel discussion with our female founders. So good luck to all of us who's watching. Thank you again for joining us. And we hope to see you soon. Thank you.